It's about 5:30 on Sunday evening here, the 5th of January. I'm Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude here at the channel. Going to look at British Columbia's work week weather here on the channel with a little bit of, well, this kind of stuff too. As I don't want to talk about this much in the forecast, so we'll just get it out of the way right now. These tornadoes have been confirmed right now near Pelahatchie, Mississippi. Went through there. This one just north side of Morton. So a very dangerous situation going on right now in Mississippi, just like we told you would happen right here on Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel, the Bad News Show. Let's freaking go. There it is. This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. They dry mopping this. Of course, for all our friends in California, we're really hoping you're paying attention to some of the dangers of wildfire that may be coming at you this week. Some extreme fire potential in Southern California. Be advised. Let your friends know if they live down there to be ready to pick up and run. This is some serious stuff, my friends. Seems like the city of Wichita has been naming their snowplows. They got GPS trackers on them. You can go on there and look at the thaw enforcement and Thawsome and Plowosaurus Rex and Snowy-One Kenobi, Chili Dog, the Blizzard of Oz, Mr. Sandman, Snow Buffet, Peppy La Plow, Mr. Plow, Lord Cold. All these really creative names for all their Plowy McPlowface, the Scrape Gadsby, Edward Blizzard Hand, Snow Worries, Point of Snow Return, and Plowabunga. You got the picture. Well, we got a new warning right now on the west coast of British Columbia. Wind warning 90 to 110 kilometer an hour winds Monday evening to Tuesday morning. Exposed coastal sections of Haida Gwaii are at risk here, as well as areas adjacent to mainland inlets and valleys. A strong frontal system is forecast across the north coast from Monday to midday Tuesday. Damage to roofs and shingles and stuff like that could happen. So extreme cold warning still going on up through the northern parts of the prairies, minus 40. Things are going to start getting better soon, but maybe not quite yet. Up at the Haines Junction, winter storm watch, because we got all kinds of new precip coming up into the Alaska Panhandle. That will spill into northern British Columbia. That will spill into the Yukon. Monday night through Tuesday, two low-pressure systems in quick succession will bring heavy snow to the White Pass and gusty inflow winds, producing zero visibility and snow and blowing snow beginning Monday evening. The heaviest snow is forecast to end Tuesday afternoon, but a continued offshore flow giving periods of snow Tuesday night will continue. So there's uncertainty because blizzard-like conditions may go on there, and it's a part of the world where we don't have all kinds of radars and different things and weather gadgets that's out there. We're trying our best for you, though. Of course, extreme cold still continues up there with blizzard warning now. Also, that's still for the Dempster Highway, 90 to 100 kilometer an hour, 45 to minus 50 below temperature, right? Could be going on for them. Minus 50 for areas in the Northwest Territories. Extreme cold warning going on through much of those areas. So that's been very unfortunate for you guys. Extreme cold warning up along and to get an extreme cold warning in that part of the world, it has to be very, very cold. The storm continues for the East Coast. We have 20 to 35 centimeters possible in these areas of Nova Scotia Highlands. 90 centimeters could even be possible there. So that is a big time total for you guys. 90 kilometer an hour winds until Monday morning in Cape Breton. So Frankie McDonald probably seeing some of this winter storm warning also for a tiny little island out there. Over at PEI, also getting some 15 centimeters worth of snow there. 80 kilometer an hour winds, 5 to 10 centimeters through Cape Breton and parts of northern Nova Scotia. We do have that continued wind warning up to 100 kilometers an hour. Still winter storm warning as well up in northern parts of Newfoundland along the mainland. 15 centimeters, maybe 20, 100 kilometer an hour gusts up there. We have winter storm warning for the further on up there. And all along the coast, we have coastal flooding warning still continues. The warning is in effect for parts of the coast due to moderate storm surge, large waves, higher than normal water levels for northeastern and eastern Newfoundland, 6 to 8 meters breaking upon the shore. That's 10 p.m. this evening to 12 a.m. Monday. So I swear I'm going to talk about British Columbia here in this episode. That's really what we're here to talk about. It's just I want to sort of update you on all the things I was talking about last night in the show. And there's our northeaster there. Big bomb cyclone. A lot of it now more out to sea, but you can see some of those tight gradients on those isobars, making for very, very, very windy conditions out there. Stormy seas, I'm sure. And through Mississippi into Louisiana, we have this line of thunderstorms where we saw earlier that tornado has been confirmed on the ground. So at least one tornado, probably more, have touched down today in this line of storms. It's been going off. Out in the Pacific Ocean here, we got some disturbance out there, but things are mostly fairly nice in British Columbia right now. We did a little bit of flurries and wells that have happened throughout the evening, but nothing all that ridiculous whatsoever. Our temperatures right now sitting minus 27 still up in Fort Nelson. A little bit warmer, only minus 6 in Prince George now. So you're seeing the warm up. 3 degrees in Vernon at this hour before supper time. Not too bad. Dease Lake still minus 21. Sorry for you. And Fort St. John still not too bad. Dawson Creek minus 19, minus 20 in Chetwynd and areas like that. So pretty freaking cold. Some of the worst cold in southern parts are, look at that, in the North Dakota, 26 below reporting there. We have a 28 in Brandon, Manitoba. It's been extremely cold in Brandon for days and days and days. But you can see some of this temperature starting to break down in the Yukon. Look at that, minus 15s, minus 18s. A warm-up is coming for you. It's gonna be a little bit of a change now with all this. No, Yellowknife, it's going to take a little while for you. Minus 38 in Yellowknife at this hour. Very, very, very stinking stupidly cold in some parts of Western Canada, but not so bad. Seasonal through, I'd say, through the some parts of Saskatchewan at least, and Alberta minus 12s and 13s and 16s and things like that. Temperatures you expect to see at this time of year. So we'll talk about the work week, and you can see a little bit of that flurry showing up in the Caribou Mountains tonight. Like, we have seen a bit of that, and that's nothing serious, just a little bit of snow falling at times. Mostly it's been light. It's still fairly chilly, although it's only, actually, what am I talking about? It's only minus 1.7 right now here. Wow, that's according to the weather machine that I have from our friends Diggy's Diner there got me. And there's our really explosive low heading up towards the Alaska Panhandle. That's going to be putting a lot of snow into the Yukon. Places like that, northern BC will be seeing some of that. There's a significant atmospheric river in behind it. So Monday morning, that stretches right out across the Pacific, almost down to Hawaii. So there's your Pineapple Express. That's a nice classic Hawaiian Pineapple Express going up into Alaska there, and that's going to help moderate temperatures, warm things up. I mean, look at this. You're going to see a real big change. You look at that. It's getting beaten right back. Even Fort Nelson's about to see their warm up in the next 24 to 48 hours. Going to have a big change for you guys. So that is nice for your work week. So for mostly Monday, southern BC, not looking bad for you at all. I mean, you spent the whole day, hovering around 0 or just below. Nothing too crazy going on. Windy off the coast, sure. Haida now going to be taking that atmospheric river head on, so it'll probably be raining pretty hard for you at some point by 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and you're going to have those winds really picking up along the coast. But for those of us in the interior, we're really enjoying some of this high pressure where we will take the nice weather. It's not too bad for temperature. That's when the warm-up's really starting to happen overnight into Tuesday. Starting to see Fort Nelson and the Peace really seeing a significant change in their weather, and the atmospheric river punching upwards into the coast. So Prince Rupert, you're going to see some snowfall definitely Tuesday. You're looking at watching some of that come down the coast mountains. So Bella Kula, areas like that, you're probably going to see some areas to the far north, Watson Lake, up along the Alaska Panhandle, Juneau Terrace. Definitely going to see some. Going to have the hose just kind of work its way down the coast and nice and evenly spread that precipitation out and around. That's kind of what you want to see it do. So it's not, this is a low-level atmospheric river event. It's not, although it's a very powerful one, it's not stalling in any one location necessarily. But here comes the next storm immediately pounding on in, so it's not going to take much time. And, BC getting some of this effect of this weather, maybe even some pretty good snow into Wednesday morning in the Caribou and along Revelstoke and the Rocky Mountains. Maybe even a little bit of rain possible. Is that possible in behind? Yeah, well, look, we could see temperatures really warming up across the board in Western Canada now by Wednesday morning. Above zero in Alberta. Chinook fully on for you. Not too bad. Southern BC getting above zero for the most part, even up to 8 degrees in Kelowna. So there's a nice January warm up for you. You got the Pacific flow. The pineapples are just flowing in from the coast, and we're really not seeing really a great deal of bad weather in BC through the week. We had a little bit of that snow through the Rocky Mountains at times that if you're driving through the Rockies into Wednesday morning, maybe you want to be aware of, and some of that stuff in northern BC we pointed out. But all in all, we're not taking any of these storms directly on the chin this week in BC. I don't see our temperatures being nearly half as bad as they've been. They're either going to be seasonal or warmer, I would suggest. We're going to watch storm after storm pound up into the Alaska Panhandle. Going to be quite nasty out in the Pacific Ocean. That's a very strong storm there, 960. You can see this trail, which will probably be all these really tall, explosive cumulonimbus clouds in behind, throwing lightning. And, the dry sector will help fire them up and push that convection up higher and higher. So you could probably see, it seems like a line of significant electrical show for anybody who just happens to be out. And you've already got such terrible winds that have been happening out there. You can see these tight isobars. It's very, very, very windy through the week up in the that whole section of this Alaska. The Gulf of Alaska, I guess we could call that. And you can see 1, 2, 3. The storms are just lining up, ready to come. 1, 2, 3, one after another. But that's our work week in BC, where most of that is to the north. Vancouver Island taking some at times. Bella Coola taking some at times. The northern BC taking some at times. A little bit of that spilling up into the Yukon. Even some significant snow at times in parts of the Yukon, especially in southwestern sections of the Yukon. Maybe at times Prince George and the Caribou see some flurries. Looks like we have at least 2 rounds where we could see some pretty strong ones. And I would think that Thursday, as this tail slaps in, will be welcoming by the end of the evening and into Friday morning, maybe the best chance we have of some stronger snow signal in BC. But temperatures are pretty warm, so who sees snow and who sees rain are still maybe up in the air a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily freak out about these images of the snow. We'll have more videos this week and talk about what all this will mean. We're not going to, on Sunday night, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, Friday, I predict this exact thing will happen. 6 days from now. Certainty is hard to predict. But, we had this high pressure blocking off the coast. It really wants to send everything upwards, deflected away from BC. And that'll leave most of the province maybe enjoying some of the warming benefits of these trends without necessarily getting completely slammed with major winter storm stories like we've been seeing in other parts of the continent. Like I've been talking with the last few days, there's been a lot of them to talk about. There's a major winter outbreak been going on through North America. And wow, look at this guy, next week, Sunday, possibly here in central and southern BC, we've been getting kind of lucky with this one. Next nor'easter, so it's just this is the pattern we're in right now. We're kind of waiting to see if anything breaks this pattern. Mostly the East Coast is getting the worst of it at times as this cold air breaks out and out. But I think that, over the next few weeks, we'll see. You can see temperatures seem to be improving by the time we get to Wednesday, the 15th of January. So in 10 days from now, we might see things be a little warmer in the continent, and that's okay by me. Hope that just helps illustrate a little bit about what might happen this week in British Columbia, what our work week kind of looks like, and maybe that'll help you make your plans. And, be aware that there is a couple times we could see some flurries, but I think for a lot of you, you're going to be just seeing some improving warming trend, warming conditions, especially for those of you in Fort Nelson. You're going to see a major improvement in the magnitude of tens of degrees, 20, 30 degree change in your weather. You bet you can't wait. Thanks everybody for supporting the channel so much. We're going to keep trying to make things better and better and better around here as best we can. So keep liking, sharing, subscribing if you can. If it's possible for you, don't be afraid to hit the super there. Give a thanks and let me know how much you want me to keep doing this every day. Okay. Well, I guess we'll talk to you sometime tomorrow with whatever update we might have in the world. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. Bye for now.